Yo, what's up? I know today's stream is kind of a surprise because usually on Mondays I cannot stream, but this week I don't have school, and specifically today, Mom decided to evaporate, so I kind of have the whole house to myself, and I kind of don't have that risk going. So, okay. I just noticed, hold on, in the generator, by the way, why is this using this ch symbol? Why not this one? So that we don't need that rule. Oh, because the big C is not friendly. Oh, we can do big one being sh. That's a different character. Okay. So with that fixed, also I need to open gen. Yeah. Equiprobable can just take a okay, it's working. Nice. Um I did a bunch of vocabulary, like genuinely tons of vocab. As you can see, I added a lot of words. I worked pretty much overtime for this. I did collect some extra words that I like I don't know, circle and leque and ehka and I don't know, roja. So it's nice. So I have a bunch of words now that I can freely use. I also have this list of derivators. These are not truly roots, so they're not vocabulary in the sense that they aren't separate words, they are just suffixes. So anyways, so these are a bunch of like suffixes, and when I was playing around, like as an extra, is just looking at how you can derive verbs, and I did some like sound changes off the top of my head, so to see how one single verb can be expanded by adding more and more stuff on. And yeah, you can see that by the end, the meaning is like I'm caused to be repeatedly and heavily thrown at something. And that would be Nake Malika, which, yeah. Anyways, this is what I was playing around last time. Pretty much. I decided to keep this just as like a example. And I did finish the noun cases, so we have animate and inanimate nouns. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff and it's real nice. One thing that I didn't list out, I don't know if I did this last time, is determining like what each case truly is. So nominative, accusative, dative, genitive, and ablative, with the note that ablative is somewhat similar to a locative. So it's not just away from, but it's also at. So yeah. We did this on stream, I think, except for the endings, of course. And I also have strong and weak pronouns. I don't know if I talked about this last time, but essentially strong pronouns are like nominative, accusative, and weak pronouns are everything else, or strong pronouns are nominative and weak pronouns are everything else. So essentially, if you want to background the information, you use these. Now, one idea I do have is with the weak pronouns, I could create like possessive forms. So I don't know, take a word, hold on, vocab. Say something like branch, parchu. So if I took parchu and I don't know, suffix it with, for example, just to compare, something like C for the third singular, then parshu would mean branch, and parshu C would mean his or her branch or its branch. So, and the thing about this is that this would kind of make it an agglutinative language, unless I like with fusion, like you just absolutely kill the endings. But yeah, pretty much that's it. I don't know if where to do this. This would be like parshu, parshush, parshush, and that would be, yeah, parshush, and ush could turn into something else like we. So parsh stays, parshui maybe for the third singular. So parshui. So pretty much that's the idea. As as well as oh dear, as well as you could technically use the personal, like the personal verb suffixes endings to do the same thing, because those also signify, like for example in Hungarian, that's pretty much the explanation behind it, that the possessive forms and the verb endings are very closely related to each other because they pretty much came from the same thing. But yeah. So yeah, that's what we did last time. I do not remember what I said to do next time, and I don't have a to-do list anywhere in this, I think. So let's go through a checklist. We have a bunch of grammar, mostly endings. We have numbers, we have pronouns. We have a phonology, of course. We have cases, we have word order. So there's some other, I'm just gonna move this out of the way in the meantime. Just gonna move this somewhere where it doesn't bother. So anyways, in the meantime, there are some other grammar that has to be tackled. For example, for pronouns, we have to have a relative pronoun. A relative in the sense that it's like what connects to clauses. It's like the equivalent of English which or that, I think, or whom, maybe? No, who. So we have to have some kind of relative pronoun, and I forgot the exact name of it. I can check. It's gonna check on another one because somewhere I wrote the name of this thing down. In another project. Relative, yeah, relative. It is relative. So, okay. So, we need the relative pronoun, which won't really have, I mean, I could list it here, but I think I'll list it here instead. So, a relative pronoun. And this is gonna be a pronoun, as you could guess. I need a word for it. It's probably gonna be monosyllabic so that you can easily modify it, or at least very simple. Setyo. Oh, that sounds nice though. I'm gonna keep that for something else. I'm just gonna collect some words here. Setyo. Tsuye. Tsuye. Yuah. Is a bit too simple. Like, I mean, like, it's not gonna change a lot. Sa is interesting. Oh, ta. Ta could be interesting too. Or make it sha. Hold on. Where is it? Sha. So sha would be the relative pronoun. And I don't know. Should be animate or I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what you're relativizing, right? If you're relativizing an animate object, then it's gonna take the animate conjugation. But if it's inanimate, it's gonna take the inanimate. That's nice. I wonder what setyo should be. Do I have a word for hold? I do not have a word for hold. And that's gonna be a verb. So we get setyo. For to hold. That's nice. Okay. Back here, so we have a relative pronoun, so we can kind of link sentences together, which is nice. What else do we need? Probably like 8 million stuff, but oops. Probably like 8 million stuff, but I think that's pretty decent. I don't know if I should start doing sound changes already or I should do some more messing around. Also, yeah, I did in the timeline I did write some like other notes for other pro languages. This is kind of like a concept yet. I didn't really commit to it yet, but maybe later. Maybe later. All right. Okay. Okay. We have a bunch of suffixes too. Okay. I think I can actually start doing sound changes, honestly. Anyways, because I already did plan on doing sound changes for another project because I already did have something in mind. But either way, let's start doing sound changes. So it's an adjective, yeah. Do I have every phoneme here? No. No, this is some outdated one. What the hell is this? What am I looking at here? Well, I'm stressed if it's the penult or it's alone. What is the stress system? That is not the stress. What is this? What? Is this some random branch? Dog. I just made some random branch here. What the fuck? This is schizophrenia. Okay, let's do some. So no, that's fine. We do not have nga. I'm very sure that's from something else. Pataka. We were missing cha. So we're just gonna add that. Cha. That's palatal. Okay. We do not have the yet. So is a sib affricate. Okay, oh, we're missing a lot of stuff. So they're not plosives, they're ansib fricatives. I don't know why I entered the plural, but okay, the rest are fine, I think. Oh yeah, we're missing the schwa. We're missing schwa. Where's it there? It's not open, it's mid central and then round. Okay. The rest is fine. In fact, let me just copy this. I'm just gonna open Alexergy and here. That's a different project that I'm not willing to show yet. So just to go through the list. Do we have glottal stop? No, we do not. Let's remove that. Okay. Okay. So that gives us everything. Let's do a quick round of simplification. So if we have a consonant that is not a sib affricate, so essentially not the, that is duplicated, and it's non-ejective, I think, is that what I call it? Non-ejective. It becomes long and the second one disappears. If we have literal, so no, hold on. If we have the literal followed by the, then this becomes long. And yet yeah. And if we have a consonant, oh, hold on. Okay, here. If we have a consonant that has, let's see, what are the qualities? It is place and manner for consonants. So dollar place, whoa, place, dollar manner. That is non-ejective, followed by the same place, same manner. Actually, that should be the foolproof method of catching this one. Okay, hold on. We're not gonna need this. Non-ejective, and it's not a sib affricate, of course. Followed by the same place and same manner. Then this one disappears and this one becomes long. And yeah, then does this. So I think that should do it. So essentially it says like something like ta-ta. So you have something like ta-ta, ta-ta, and ta. Then yeah, this becomes ta, so that stays, and this becomes ta. Nice. I wonder if this is the, that's not the proper symbol. Oh, I might have made this in school. That could be the explanation of why it sucks. Okay, let's quickly copy this over. So, that should do it for the geminates, and then we have to do the stress too. The stress is denoted as, first goes a closed long, then a closed short or a long open, and then the first syllable. Somebody's messing around outside with their car. All right. So, firstly, and this is gonna affect. No, actually, no. So a vowel becomes a long vowel becomes stressed. Stressed. If we have a consonant followed by another consonant or a word boundary, that is one case. Or we have a consonant that is long. That should be the first. And unless also this is left to right. Unless oh, hold on one second, guys. Right, I'm back. For a second I thought somebody came home. It's just the neighbor. Anyways, so unless we're going left to right, so we have to check if there's already a stressed vowel somewhere before. Right? Then left to right. A vowel becomes stressed. So a long vowel becomes stressed. So I don't know. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, it has two cases. We do have to have a preference though. Long vowels will take it actually. Yeah. So if I have a long vowel that is that becomes stressed if there is a consonant. No. Well, actually, an open long vowel. We already took care of long vowels, so technically we don't have to have that. We can just check that unless there's a stressed somewhere before or somewhere after, because by this point there could be one after. And then a vowel becomes stressed, so a short vowel. If there is, well, the same condition as this, so it's a closed syllable, unless there's already a stressed vowel somewhere. And then affects a vowel that becomes stressed if it's a word initial. And that should take care of stress, hopefully. So to test that theory, I have these words, and I already determined what the proper stress should be. So I'm just going to go here, remove the stress from them, and just check where the algorithm stresses it. So, yeah, something is wrong. Let's see, what did I say? So it marked all of these, but oh, it marked multiple. Ooh, that's not. Oh, because I forgot the condition. Hold on. Because it's first syllable, there can only be a stress vowel afterwards. Unless there's a stress vowel afterwards. And let's see. Let's just copy the outputs and see what we get. So we got this. So first syllable, and then for all of the other ones, this one is stressed. That's wonderful. Okay, that's nice. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I might as well not include consonant gemination because I've never done that before. And I just realized that will mess up a bunch of sound changes in the future, probably. So, just gonna remove that quietly. Here. Okay. So, that's nice. We have a stressing system. That's cool. Okay. Now comes the interesting part. Sound changes. So that means that going back here to the timeline, we have to make a split. At least one split. So we have to divide this. There's going to be A. There's going to be B. I'm not going to give them names yet. I will give them names later when I do a bunch of more vocabulary and whatnot. So let's look. From this, we have to have a reference. That is the vocabulary. So in one branch, I did have the idea that adjectives become plain and plain becomes voiced. So what we're going to do is that let's see. So we have pata, ka, pata, cha, ka, and non-adjective. This becomes ba, da, ga. Oh, I have to put space. Hold on. Ba, da, whoopsies. We have ja, ga, and ga. And then ejective becomes non-ejective. And 1 second, because I just realized that there are also fricatives. Affricates, sorry, that the th, which would become the. So I can just quickly test this. So, ooh, why did it do that? Am I not using the correct? Oh my goodness, dude, don't tell me to replace the fucking symbol. Okay. That's on Word. That's on Word. That's on no, Google Docs for doing its bullshit. Please don't tell me that this gets replaced. Okay, no it doesn't. Okay. So yeah, there it is. The. Now we have to register a bunch of stuff. So I have to copy this over essentially. And we'll have ba, da, ja, ga, ga, and the. And these are all going to be voiced. There we go. So, get this. Nice. Okay, next thing on the list, C2, a vowel followed by h turns long and the h disappears. That's like a straightforward one. And I'm gonna make it optional, because, and that just kills h everywhere. Is that what I did in the example? Not quite, but that's fine. Not quite what I did, but it's fine. This is just one branch of probably the many. So, C3 denotes that a vowel that is front, short, unstressed, becomes and not open. So A gets excluded. Becomes y if there is a vowel in front of it. A back one, the back one cannot be open, becomes w. And and a, who are short and unstressed, become nullified when there's a vowel in front of them. That reduces a bunch of clusters, which practically kills all of these, but that's fine. C4, we shift the to the, unless it's word initial, and s becomes z if it's between two syllabic, but we don't have diphthongs, so vowels are enough. We have to have z for this one. What did I do here? So schwa deletes itself as far as I see. If I do that, what do I get? So becomes and then becomes maybe get So for that we have to introduce which is open mid, I think. We get this. Hold on, let me check what I did here. Oh no, I just shifted it to a, but unless it was stressed. So stressed becomes e, and otherwise becomes a. So far we have, where are you? This. Nucleons. Oh, I do have I do have z. Did I voice the? Did I voice? No. Mm-hmm. So that's supposed to be a change for later. Okay. We're gonna keep the for now. Actually, that's good because then I could have one branch shifted to the and the other one to z. So that could be interesting. Uh, yeah. I want some other shifts too, so I'm just gonna look at other vocabulary. In fact, the best thing to do here is just take your entire vocabulary, copy paste it in, and see what you get. So tjohosh becomes Josh. She stays. Jesui stays. Tjachnas becomes Djechnas. Yutzach becomes Yutzech. Kochau, Nache, Barchu, Let's see. Getty. Omar. Gshis. Gosde. Jäger. Oh, actually, about schwa deletion. If afterwards you have manarala, probably, and maybe even wa ya, optionally. Actually, no, hold on. And these become syllabic if there is at least one consonant afterwards, or it's word final. If there's a vowel, it does not do that. Okay. Then regularly just losing schwa. And I need a syllabic marker. And that is this symbol for consonants. And for example, we should see, yeah, Jäger. Do we have any more? Actually, afterwards, I'm just thinking. Syllabic ya and wa should immediately be converted to e and u, because that's what they are. So then ya and wa become e and u, because that's pretty much what they are. Not exactly, but that's pretty much what they are. C6. Sa becomes z if there's a consonant that is voiced afterwards, and that is not a nasal. Not a nasal, not a trill, not a lateral approximant, and not an approximant. So, for example, we get gozde. So, that's nice. What else should we do? Actually, I could do simplification of yeah and were clusters. So, for example, E7 ye becomes e, wu becomes u, e becomes a, the simulation, and u becomes o. So we get uwi, for example, because of the ordering. Joey, for example, as well. What else went through this? Actually, here for the extension E and A, U and O. So those take part as well. Also, I'm noticing that there's this cluster that seems to be going on. Anyways, whoops. 3 times, 4 times. I cannot enter 8. Okay. I'm thinking of sh, because I'm pretty sure sh is not kept even in this stage, right? I didn't even use sh. But anyways, sh could become sh. Hold on, it could become sh. It could become sh. Technically, where is it? Here. Sh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with sh. And that means so we need a new symbol. Here. Sh is palatal. Okay. Sure. I'm thinking that ja and ja won't really be kept, so C9. We have ja and ja. Oopsies. Ja and ja. And those become cha, something. Ja probably becomes ya. Cha could become cha, could become tsa. I mean tsa if we collapse the two together. But if we do that, and before that, I want to collapse tsa first. So tsa becomes ta if it's word initial. Maybe. No, actually, no. Let's just make it tsa if it's between two vowels. Sure, should it be syllabics because we have syllabic resonance. So that could work. But only if the second one, because if the first one, then we get a cluster technically. So yeah. We get Yechnas, Kochtau. We should also do nasal assimilation. So C11. So ma becomes na if it is followed by, well, it becomes na in the sense that I use na for both na and nga. So that's gonna be a bit convoluted. But actually I could introduce na on its own. I never really do that. I just combine na and nga into the same symbol, but so it becomes na if we have an alveolar following it. An alveolar following it, I think. Unless it's r or la. because I think m suits those better. Then that is for m. M can become n. I know it should be easier to do the place thing, but w is labiovelar and not labial, for example, so it would mess a bunch of stuff up. So it can, if there's a velar, or actually by this point uvulars should be killed. Or at least I don't know. Or uvulars don't affect it. So if there's a velar, that becomes nga. And so does na do the same. And na can become ma if there is a bilabial following it, or w, which is the only labiovelar, I think. That should do it. Winter. Where else were conflicting ones? Yeah, here. Hinty. Not any other ones. Okay. All right, all right. I think that should be it. Okay. C12. I think what I could do is, if we have a vowel that is stressed, then it introduces a h before itself if there's another vowel in front of it in clusters. So yogosh would become yogosh. For example, what else? There were definitely other clusters too. Yeah, no, that's different. This one definitely did. Yeah. Okay. Next one. What else? I think gle can become like gle or gle. I think this is the symbol for the non-trill one. Gle. And yeah. So we have to take this. Oops, there it is. And it's voiced. Okay, ret. Rosde, rchis. Oh, that's gonna be funny. Rchis. I could have some insertion happening, like vowel insertion and shit. Lega. Okay. Okay. All right. I could change between vowels, but I don't think I will. Okay. That's a bunch of changes. I'm just gonna do a quick romanizer for the looks of it. I rarely do that, but recently I did. It's gonna be A. I don't even have a name for it, so what has to be romanized? Looking through stuff. So we don't have ha anymore, so the symbol for ha is free, but I don't think I will use it because, so let's see. We have ha, which I like to romanize like this. We have its counterpart ha, which can be romanized with a G, caret. The is romanized as the is romanized as the, just without the symbols. Here could probably be romanized as either an X with a acute or an S with an acute. But because it's here, I would rather do this. Is there another symbol? Oh, syllabics. Syllabics. How would you romanize syllabics? Syllabic is romanized as a non-syllabic followed by the silent word marker, like it is in Proto-European, for example. Oh, oh, that's not good. Okay, so it did not work. Sad news. I might as well have to abandon that idea. It does not like something. Something is not. Something is not tickling its fancy. I don't know what. The best part is it does not tell me what. So, there we go. And I guess I could romanize yeah with Y if we really want to be fancy. But that's purely for English speaking people, so. Okay. A vowel that is short unstressed becomes a if it's a word final. This one, for example. And I have to romanize somehow. Which could be, I don't know, what is, that looks ass. Maybe this one. Oh, that looks ugly. That looks very ugly. This. No. Or what if I just don't romanize it? That's fine. I mean, it doesn't bother them that much. But this is probably for purely for looks, so. Oh, he's still my favorite out of all. Alright. Jäger. Okay, okay. That should. So how much is one segment? It's 100. Yeah, who the fuck is texting me? Oh my fucking god. This guy won't leave me alone. Okay. So one segment is 100 years. This is 14 changes. That is definitely too much for 100 years. I could say that this took like, I mean, especially because of the initial shifts, like this could be a lengthy process. This could be somewhat of a lengthy process. But the rest aren't that much, so I guess this could be around, if this is 300 years, hold on, we need the calculator for this one. Hold on. So if we have 300 years, followed by 14 changes, that's 21 years per change. That's very fast. That's very fast. I guess it's reasonable though, because they don't really write yet, so that could be nice. I'm just gonna start color coding like this, and I'm also gonna center these guys. In fact, everything here should be centered. There we go. Lovely. Now, that brings us one step further. And for the other branch, I was just gonna copy this one. Lovely. So, can just remove these. Remove all the changes I did, and we still have the words here. So we can start the other branch. The other branch is gonna be interesting because we're gonna have glottalization. So glottalization comes from the adjectives. And how it's gonna work is that anything followed by a consonant that is adjective gets glottalized and the adjective becomes non-adjective. I don't know if this works for word initials. No, it does not. Okay. And then just to be sure, adjectives become non-adjectives. No plural. Okay. So something we get some stuff like Utrecht and Tijter and winter. So that's nice. The next thing for sure is that so a vowel followed by h becomes long as usual. Then we have so we have 5 vowels e, u, e, o, e, o, a, followed by h. Also here. So does not really exist. So it's like, you know, you would be constricting your throat while pronouncing the U word. That's kind of killing you. So that becomes plain. Or we could keep it because why the fuck not? So followed by h, followed by h. Okay, got it. Followed by h. E becomes e, u becomes o, e becomes e, o becomes o, and a becomes ach, ach, ach. Like maybe, or maybe the umlaut thing about this guy. And h disappears, of course. So now we have to add these vowels where o and a. So we already have a. We have to add its siblings. So we have o. Open mid, yes, it's back and it's round. And for a, it's easier to copy this one because it's open, but it's central. Technically, linguists debate that it doesn't really exist, but you know, one person says one thing, the other says the other. E, o. I did forget so would become would become maybe. That would be dragging forward though. Anyways, now we got Janas, for example. Okay, C3 s becomes s if it's so unless it's word initial, then it becomes and C4 should degeminate, so a geminate becomes degeminated if it's in a cluster. Okay. Okay, nice. I'm gonna do the same vowel shifts, by the way. A bit different variations. So should also be in front. Hold on. Actually, I'm just realizing I could compag this to be more accurate. So if it's surrounded by either h or k on either side, right? And then that turns into nothing. I could also turn it into length, technically, but I don't know. I should do that, actually. Hold on. So vowel followed by h, or or even actually no, should harden. Chesui, for example, that stays. Then I don't know, actually no, let's keep them. C5 K turns into K. Guess. So that turns into that, and H merges with H. We get, what is this? Oh, that's Nahe, I think. Nahe. Okay. C6. We have to have some insertions. So if you have a vowel that is front, followed by another vowel, whoopsies, then that becomes a ya, and then otherwise we get a wa. Actually, no, we should get a ha. Get your whole. Do we get yeah anywhere, just so that I can check? Yeah, heyel, for example. Then C17. How did I get to 16? So, oh my god. Hold on, the numbering is off. So if we have a vowel that is glottalized, it becomes long. And if you have a vowel that is followed by something, a consonant, that is glottalized, we also get a long vowel. And then actually no, we're not gonna remove glottalization yet. Because C8 states that E, actually no, no, because A is like so open, it's like I think easily falls back to Well, doesn't really, actually no, hold on, does. So and yeah, that's it. And as well as actually no, that should be it for now. They become a. So get haswi, for example. And also so which is glottalized schwa. Hold on. Will become probably. Well, will become So becomes and then, however, this is that is not glottalized. Becomes So it does survive. And also it should not lose glottalization. So and we're also gonna merge this guy and this guy into aw, which is a new vowel, so we have to add that too. It's This time it's not central, it's back. Naha, which merged with Kachao. Yeah. E merges into A. Okay. I don't know if, yeah, we did have keys. Which I don't know how it, does it lengthen? No. Why did he lengthen? Why did I put the lengthening rule before? I think that's supposed to be after. C8 and this is C7. Not 4, 7. And then glottalized becomes non-glottalized. Okay. And now we're just gonna include a bunch more. So let's see, high vowels, so E and U, become A and O. Becomes A and O become A. We can do that later. Like C9. All of these merge into A. Yeah, that should be it. Okay. Then C10. I thought that was a rookie rule thing. I talked about it. So S is retracted to sh. Sh, kind of. Gets retracted to sh if in front of it is the following, one of the following. Y, E, an alveolar consonant. Word boundary. And once we're here, what as well. Yeah, that should be it. So that gives us like Hashwi, Yoshach, and other ones. C11 states that H becomes Sh if it's in front of something front, so yeah, E or E. Then H becomes W if it is in front of another W or U. And then K becomes null if it's word final. Come on. And then K becomes K. And in the meanwhile, I have to add sh to the consonants. So, oh, it's doing dark magic. That's not good. And this is palatal. There we go. As you can see, my spelling skills are above average. Anyways, that does get rid of h. Did we get k anywhere? Just out of pure curiosity? Out of h? Let's see. I don't have a lot of words with h, huh? That's interesting. I'll have to fix that in the future. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, here. It does. Why does h become k? Oh, because we inserted h and that becomes k. So we got Chokosh. Isn't that the same thing that we got here? Now we got h. And that's Yokosh. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. C12. Sh merges sh. Where is it? Here. There we go. We still have ch on our hands, and I don't like that. So, yeah. Actually, hold on. I just realized I forgot the gemination thing. I forgot about that. And ejective is non-ejective. That we're gonna do that after. And a consonant that is non-ejective and is a plosive. Plosive. Why am I doing non-ejective? That geminates unless it's in the beginning of the word. I kind of forgot about that rule. Whoopsies. I'm just gonna test it real quick. I kind of forgot about that. I did want to do that. Do we have any? No. None? Oh, here we go. We got Chakar. Oh, because a lot of them got killed, huh? Laka, Taka, Sacho. So those did combine. C13, by the way. Oh. So O and U combine with W to create U. And E combines with IA to create E. Just to remove some clusters. So Sachu, Rauha, Tose. Okay. Ochochi. Fuck me. Okay. C14. Cha becomes ya unless it's word initial, where it becomes, what should it become? Cha. Could become ka. Or cha. Ta, maybe? We could have ta as well. What did we have here? We have ya everywhere. So we get tanash, for example. And in the middle of the word, sayu. For example, toyi. Okay. Okay. That's not bad, not bad. Listen, we're doing pretty nice. We're doing pretty nice. Oh yeah, one more thing. Unless there's a vowel after it. We do not tolerate that. What kind of vowels did I not get rid of, by the way? We still supposedly have a and o, right? Because we do have o, but did we get rid of a everywhere? Does it? Let me see. So we do have a from a being in contact. Oh, a shifts to a, but shifts to a. So if we have anywhere, that gives us a. I might be blind. Hold on, I might be blind. Let me, because I remember seeing one. I remember seeing one. Let me check. Hold on. Apparently not. Okay, well, sucks. Either way, E15 or raises into U. Yeah. And what else? We do have here still, I think. The C16 is gonna be here merges here, which I think we did have somewhere. Somewhere we definitely did. That's fine and dandy. Do we need nasal assimilation? Not yet. C17 is gonna be that wa. It's hardened to stuff like ma if it's between two vowels. It's between two vowels, and one of them is U. Mm-hmm. Nice. And C18 is gonna state that. Oops, C18 is gonna state that stressed O becomes O. So it restores. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. C19, a nasal is lost if it's word final. Mm-hmm. Nasals and W as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That's cool. What else could we do to this? Hold on. C20, we're gonna do a little vowel harmony, which is gonna spread from right to left, and that is that A becomes O if we're gonna do this affecting vowels. If there is an O previously, and yeah, that's pretty much it, and O will become O if there is a round vowel before it. And following that, C21 takes A and merges it into A. Maybe. Maybe. We get Hamar here. Where can we find an example where it did have an effect? So here, for example, Koko, that's had Koku. And where else? Where else? Where else? Roha, for example, as well. But no, not really. I don't know. Hmm. Actually, hold on. O becomes O, and then A, which is short now. A becomes A. So then the short one collapses, the long one does not. The long one becomes O. Do we see any? No. Unfortunate. Anyways, let's continue. I think that's about it. 21 changes for now. For the first stage is fine. So Romanizer it is. Romanizer, what do we have to Romanize? We have to Romanize, obviously, here as here for the English speakers. Here is gonna be this sh. Is gonna stay. Well, that's about it, I think. Unless I'm forgetting something, but oh yeah, aw. Technically, we do have aw, which could be romanized as oh with an underdot, I guess. I should have an underdot somewhere. I think. I think I do have an under dot. Stored in some key combination, there is an underdot. No? Did I not? Did I forget to do that? Apparently, yes, I did. Oh well, we're gonna do it with an underline. All right. One last change is that because it's on short, it's gonna be deleted. It's word final. And in that case, we also have to romanize a because that technically exists, which is gonna be a, which is lowered. I don't see examples, but oh yeah, there it is. And it has a double. Oh God. What in God's name happened there? Why is it why is it double acute? Why is it a double acute? What happened to this guy? Hey, is Margaret simple underline? Did I mistype the character? It's supposed to be Reu. Simply. But for some reason it romanizes it as E, like with the acute. Why does it do that? I genuinely don't understand why it does that. Unless it's trying to combine it. Like trying to combine it as in like it creates the symbol, but it already combined in the symbol, but it keeps like the tick, you know? So I'm just gonna have to custom define these. There we go. And I'm guessing the same problem is gonna happen for all. We're just gonna do that quickly. There we go. We get Reu. Reu is cognate with Reuche. And Dir is Dirka, for example. I love saying for example, for some reason. Anyways, I think that's fine for sandwiches. I'm just gonna quickly create these two. And so first, proto to A, we need this one. And for proto to B, we need this one. And I also have to decide the length of proto to B. It's 22 changes. It definitely takes longer. So this one was 14. I think 14, yeah. This one was 14 changes. This is 22. So that's like how many more times? I don't know. I'm not gonna bother, but this is 14, which has the half is 7, right? So 1.5 would be 7. So that kind of like 2 would be 8 changes. So it technically should take like 200 extra years, which is reasonable, but I think because of the changes, because of the glottalization, doing vowel length and stuff, I think I can do this much. I think that's completely manageable. So probably is already very ahead of time. So I might have to create a branch already. So we're gonna do a very simple method. Insert one column right. Merge these. And we're gonna have 2 branches inside. And one of them has to align with B for historical reasons, maybe. I'll decide on that later. And how long have I been doing this? 1 hour and 20 minutes. God damn. I really screwed around a lot. Let me just check back quickly. So I already had these. I'm just gonna remove the stress here real quick. And I'm just gonna check what both of these branches do with the verb. I'm gonna use the romanization, why not? Go to the other one. So, get nekleans versus nakai hamash. Hamash. Na. Nakahimans and nakahim hamash. What is the most complicated? Ooh, wow. Why are there so many as? Oh god. Nakahim hashikaya sayamash. Compared to nakahim kazans. I'll definitely have to do reduction. But it doesn't matter. So hypothetically speaking, what will happen? This will turn into sh for sure. This ha will disappear, so we get nakayamash. And because it's like 2, I could see it become either nakaimash or nakayam. Or maybe even nakyamsh. But that's already affecting the root, so. I honestly like nakayamsh better because the ending is amsh, not mash. But you know, it's subjective. Alright, that's fine. I want to check some noun declension though, because we have nouns, so why not check, you know? For example, human person man. Human person man, that becomes hishsa. So let's see, where is it? So here, it's animate, so we're gonna use the animate one. Paste in the word. And, whoopsies. And, so we get hishsa yukos. Oh, hishsa Heshsate, Heshsashuya, Mushe la. Oh, we get. Okay, we managed to get all. Heshsakashwi. So that alters the vowel. Also, there's this 2 with length, but that's fine. Heshsayu. Heshsayui. Okay, the rest are fine. The rest are not that bad. The romanizer still doesn't seem to be working properly. Sadly, there is no good solution to this, so I'll have to do this manual. So this becomes this. Oh, that displaces the bottom one. Or does it not? I think it's just having a schizophrenic attack. Or we have to find another symbol for all. Or I'm not gonna like romanize them like this, maybe. So just leave them plain. So that it does not mess with them. Or actually that works. That works completely fine. What was it? Here. So compare that to the other branch, just to make sure. We have, oh my goodness, that looks very yummy. Lichtza, Yosh, Zoe, I think. The roots. Does it change the vowel? Not really. There's only one case where it lengthens the vowel, I think. Oh yeah, and the word final, of course, in nominative it's but that's fine. Hmm. Interesting to say the least. Uh, Interesting. Nice, but it works. It works. Hey, that's good. Uh, I do want to test in derivators, whatever. For example, we got كيقر or to say, to talk, and for example, if we take a patient yoch, then we get something like a sentence or saying or however you want to imply that. The reason why it's interesting because it will take the stress because it's long and closed. So the difference here is we get yeger and yegrioch, and this one gives us takar and takarjuch. So it doesn't really give too much vowel quality yet, but it might change if we use a different vowel. Something like for example, being in the main stress. Like into throw. Knock a. Let's see. Did I already tested that though? No, doesn't matter. If I include yosh as the other one, because neke and nake yosh, so that there is a vowel quality change, and this is nakai and nakai yosh. So that does not. So this, let's see, because there is stress-based change on a, I think mostly just only that one. Yeah, and a itself comes from o and a merging together when they're next to h and k. So it's one. Can I find such root? I don't know. Anyways, it's cool. We have that. The infinitive, I'm curious about the infinitive on. It's included. So we got neqeton and nakaito. So here it does become to, but it does not interfere with the root. However, with very weak roots, it may take the stress. So something like to be is two. If you look at that, for example, tuton, it becomes tuton, and here it becomes what? Tuto. Yeah. Not actual roots. We also have te, for example, teton and tato. Can I force the conjugation or the stress to go back to the first syllable? Yes, I can because of the third singular. Yeah, because that does force it back to the first syllable. Because it's short and open. So we get teton and tesa, and here we get tato and tashi. Oh, that's cool. I'm guessing that both of them retracted, yeah. Uh, cool. Oh, the past. I didn't test the past yet. Hold on. That's like one of the most interesting things. So cajon. Let's look at cajon. Cajon on for the infinitive to have. That is kokomto and gajonton. Let's conjugate in the first person singular. That is, what is it? Where is it? Or actually, let's use the third singular. He or she has. I'm not gonna copy paste over like that. And we're gonna use the infinitive as well. The infinitive and then the infinitive past. It introduces a, so we got ke, hon, and adds a yi. So in this branch we would get gachonte and yegachonise. And in this branch we get kokomshi and yekokomyeshi. Hard to track, but it's possible. So in the present, it just simply attaches. In the past, the first K geminates because it's a regular K. So that geminates between, well, actually geminates everywhere except word initially. And then, of course, later it degeminates in clusters, but that's a different question. Let's see another route. Something more interesting. For example, these are all not, no, these are not verbs. These are not verbs. These are all our verbs right now. Plus to, which I didn't even check. Why did I write ye? It's k. I messed up. Hold on. I messed up. 1 second. So, yeah, that's it. Gegajon. And keko. Yeah. So now that we fixed that, yeah, there we go. Let's try Sertio, which does have fixed stress, but that's fine. In one branch we get Sayoton, Sayose, and Sazayoise. Okay, I like that. And here we get Sayuto, Sayushi, and Sasayuyeshi. Okay, very simple. The only thing to note is that C can geminate into she, like it can either be she or she, which will probably simplify to just simply sh. But yeah, I'm gonna check one last thing, two last things. First the numbers, second the pronouns. I'm not gonna use the romanization this time. I'm gonna use the regular one, the simply IPA part. So Hinzi and Shimyi, so and tu, Remi, Rhis, okay, Rhis and Kashish, Oisir, Puishir, Utsal, Suyal, Rozdze, Koshse, Bikish, Pekish, Rotush, Rutush. Okay, not bad, not bad. And as for the pronouns, I don't know. I know liberal stuff, crazy. I'm just gonna copy paste like this. That's easier. Here and here. So tush, uche, which is tush and wuk. Hal chai, hal hoi. Ire dis, ke tish. Okay. Now for the weak ones, we get we, he, ha, se, te, ich, yi, ti, she, and ye, ya. So that's not too different. Strong pronouns are more different than one another, especially kira and keke, mostly. All right, that's cool. I don't know what else I could do today with this. It started sound changes, history type shit. I guess some grammar stuff if I ever. So I'm gonna write a to-do list real quick. So to do, more grammar, possibly not grammare, grammar. vocab for sure. We need the vocab. More grammar, more so boils down to chaining clauses and stuff. Yeah. That's what I like. I think on the spot, that's all I can suddenly remember. The rest is currently a fog, so what else? What else could we have? I mean, shifts in time is a different question, so shifts in meaning and stuff, but not right now, not right now. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for today. I think I saved these. I didn't ruin them, right? And yeah. Anyways, this was rather a boring stream, I think. I might be able to stream tomorrow too. Maybe that will be more interesting. But anyways, see you guys in the next one. Hope you have a good day, night, whatever it is. And yeah, see ya.